step into the world of Norse paganism, where every wind whispers secrets and every fire holds magic. The Vikings lived by these beliefs, seeing gods and spirits all around them. Imagine Thor's hammer making lightning, Odin giving up his eye for wisdom, and Loki's tricks causing chaos. In this audiobook, we will explore these ancient stories. You'll hear about how the world was made, the epic battles of the gods, and the mysteries that shaped Viking life. These tales are full of adventure and wonder, waiting for you to discover. Chapter 1. Origins of Norse Beliefs. In the beginning, there was nothing but a vast emptiness. It was a silent, dark place where the seeds of the world as we know it lay waiting. This is where our story of Norse beliefs starts. A story that is as old as the hills and as deep as the oceans. The Norse people, who lived long ago in the lands we now call Scandinavia, had a special way of understanding the world. They saw the world around them not just as a place to live, but as a place filled with magic, gods, and stories. Their beliefs, known as paganism, were like a tree with many branches, each branch a different god, spirit, or part of nature. These ancient beliefs were born from the lives of the Norsemen themselves. They were farmers, sailors, and warriors who lived close to nature. They felt the cold bite of winter and the warm kiss of summer. They knew the rage of the storm and the calm of the sea, and in all these things they saw the work of the gods. The Norsemen believed that their gods lived in the world with them. They didn't think of them as far away or hidden. Instead, the gods were right there in the whisper of the wind, the crack of thunder, and the gentle flow of the river. This close bond between the people and their gods is what we call a symbiotic relationship. It means they lived together, each helping the other. For the Norsemen, every tree, every mountain, and every stream had its own spirit. They respected these spirits and often made offerings to them. They believed that by doing so they could live in harmony with the world around them. Their gods were mighty and strong, but they were also like the Norsemen, brave, adventurous, and often playful. There was Odin, the wise father of all gods, who gave up his eye to gain knowledge. Thor, the thunder god, who protected the world from giants with his powerful hammer. And Freya, the goddess of love and beauty, who rode a chariot pulled by cats. The Norsemen told stories about their gods, called myths, to explain the mysteries of life. Why does the sun rise and set? Why do the seasons change? Why do we have dreams? Their myths answered these questions and many more. As we move through this chapter, we will dig deeper into these ancient roots. We will learn about the world the Norsemen believed in, a world where gods walked among men, where giants lurked in the shadows, and where every person, tree, and stone had a spirit. So let us step back in time and uncover the origins of Norse beliefs. Let's see the world through the eyes of the Norsemen and understand how their spiritual convictions shaped their lives and the world we know today. Welcome to the first chapter of our journey into Norse paganism. Chapter 2. The Divine Assembly of Norse Deities. As we continue our exploration of Norse paganism, we arrive at the heart of its mythology, the divine assembly of gods and goddesses. These beings, known as the Aesir and Vanir, are the central figures in the Norse spiritual universe. They are not just powerful entities, but also symbols of the forces of nature human emotions, and the mysteries of life. The Aesir, the gods of Asgard. The Aesir are the gods of Asgard, a realm of order and governance. They are the defenders of the cosmos, upholders of the law, and the embodiment of valor and wisdom. Let's meet some of the key members of this divine family. Odin, often called the Allfather, Odin is the leader of the Aesir and the god of wisdom, war, and death. He is a complex figure, known for his relentless pursuit of knowledge. He sacrificed one of his eyes for a drink from the well of wisdom, and hung himself from the world tree Yggdrasil for 9 nights to learn the secrets of runes. Odin is a guide for those who seek knowledge and understanding. Thor. Thor is the god of thunder, known for his mighty hammer, Mjolnir. He is the protector of humanity, a warrior who battles giants and monsters to keep the world safe. His strength is legendary and his courage is unmatched. Thor represents the power of nature and the bravery needed to face life's challenges. Freya. Freya is the goddess of love, beauty, and fertility. She is also a warrior and a master of magic. Freya teaches us about the complexity of love and the importance of beauty in our lives. She is also associated with the afterlife, as half of those who die in battle go to her hall, says Rumner. The Vanir, the gods of Vanaheim. The Vanir are a group of gods associated with fertility, prosperity, and nature. They are the counterparts to the Aesir and represent a more peaceful and nurturing aspect of divinity. Here are some of the Vanir deities. Njord. Njord is the god of the sea, wines, and fishing. He brings wealth and prosperity to those who work on or near the water. Njord reminds us of the importance of the sea in Norse life and the blessings it can bring. Freyr. Freyr is Njord's son and the god of sunshine, rain, and harvest. He is a symbol of peace and plenty. Freyr's presence ensures a bountiful harvest and harmony in the community. Freya. Freya, sometimes considered the same as Freya, is also associated with love and fertility. She is a reminder of the cycle of life and the nurturing power of the earth. The Aesir-Vanir War and Unity. The relationship between the Aesir and Vanir was not always peaceful. A great war once raged between them, symbolizing the conflict between different aspects of life order and chaos, war and peace. However, this war ended in a truce, and the gods exchanged hostages, leading to unity and cooperation between the two divine families. This chapter of our audiobook paints a picture of a rich and complex pantheon, where each god and goddess has a role to play in the tapestry of Norse belief. Their stories are not just tales of power and magic, but also lessons about life, nature, and the human experience. As we delve into the captivating narratives surrounding Odin, Thor, Freya, and the other deities, we will uncover the values and lessons they embody. These stories are told in simple language, making them accessible to all who wish to learn about the divine assembly of Norse deities. Join us as we journey through the realms of Asgard and Vanaheim, meeting the gods who shaped the world of the Norse and continue to inspire us today. Welcome to Chapter 2, where the sagas of the gods come alive and their wisdom reaches across the ages to touch our lives. Chapter 3, Yggdrasil and the Enigmatic Realms. In the tapestry of Norse mythology, there stands a tree unlike any other, a tree so vast that its branches stretch into the skies and its roots reach deep into the earth. This is Yggdrasil, the world tree, the central pillar of the Norse cosmos. It is more than just a tree. It is the framework of the universe, the support that holds the 9 realms, each a unique world teeming with life and legend. Yggdrasil, the cosmic world tree. Yggdrasil is an ash tree, known for its strength and resilience. Its branches hold the heavens, its trunk connects the realms, and its roots penetrate the deepest mysteries. The health of Yggdrasil reflects the well-being of the entire cosmos. If the tree flourishes, so does life in all the realms. But if it falters, all of creation feels the tremors of its distress. The tree is not alone. It is a home to many creatures. An eagle perches at its top, wise and seeing far. A squirrel named Ratatosker scampers up and down the trunk, carrying messages between the eagle and a dragon named Nidhogg, who knows at the roots. These creatures, along with others, maintain the balance of forces within the cosmos and keep the flow of communication alive. The 9 realms, worlds within the branches. Yggdrasil's branches and roots cradle 9 distinct realms, each a universe unto itself, yet all are interconnected. These realms are Asgard, the shining realm of the Aesir gods, a place of might and majesty. Midgard, the world of humans, our own familiar home, encircled by a vast sea. Vanaheim, the lush domain of the Vanir gods, brimming with life's abundance. Jotunheim, the wild lands of the giants, untamed and formidable. Niflheim, a realm of ice and mist, where the dead journey to Hell's domain. Muspelheim, a fiery world, home to fire giants and searing heat. Alfheim, the radiant realm of the elves, filled with beauty and enchantment. Svartalfheim, the dark caverns of the dwarves where master craftsmen toil. Helheim, a part of Niflheim, the final resting place for those who die outside of battle. Each realm has its own tales, its own beings, and its own role in the Norse worldview. They are all part of Yggdrasil, and the fate of one realm can ripple through the others. The mystical denizens, inhabitants of the realms. The 9 realms are inhabited by various beings, each contributing to the rich mosaic of Norse cosmology. The gods of Asgard oversee the order of the worlds, while the humans of Midgard strive and dream. The Vanir nurture the earth, and the giants of Jotunheim embody the wild forces of nature. In Alfheim, the elves weave magic and beauty, while the dwarves of Svartalfheim craft wondrous artifacts. Niflheim holds the secrets of the afterlife, and Muspelheim reminds us of the raw power of fire and creation. These realms and their inhabitants are bound together by Yggdrasil. The well-being of one affects the well-being of all, and the world tree stands as a symbol of our interconnectedness with the cosmos. Conclusion. In this chapter, we have traversed the cosmic structure of Norse mythology, exploring the pivotal Yggdrasil and the enigmatic realms it embraces. We have encountered the diversity of beings that inhabit these realms and how they form an integral part of the Norse belief system. As we continue our journey through Norse paganism and mythology, let us remember the image of Yggdrasil, the world tree, a symbol of unity, strength, and the enduring connections that bind the universe together. Join us as we delve deeper into the mysteries of the Norse cosmos and the stories that have captivated human imagination for centuries. Welcome to the world of the Norse, where every leaf of Yggdrasil whispers a tale, and every root holds a secret waiting to be unearthed. Chapter 4. Legendary Creatures and Beings. In the rich tapestry of Norse mythology, not only gods and humans play pivotal roles, but also a host of legendary creatures and beings. These include the mighty Jotnar, often known as giants, the skilled dwarves, and the ethereal elves. Each group has its own unique place in the myths, embodying various aspects of the world and human nature. The Jotnar, giants of strength and chaos. The Jotnar are often called giants, but they are much more than just large beings. They represent the untamed forces of nature, wild, powerful, and often chaotic. They live in Jotunheim, one of the 9 realms connected by Yggdrasil, the world tree. The Jotnar are not all evil. Some are wise and kind, but they are usually at odds with the Aesir gods, representing the constant struggle between order and chaos. Tales of the Jotnar are filled with their battles against the gods, their interactions with humans, and their own complex society. They are capable of great destruction, but they also bring about necessary change. Without the Jotnar, the world would be static and unchanging. They remind us that even the most disruptive forces have a role to play in the grand scheme of things. The dwarves, master craftsmen of the underground. Dwarves are the master craftsmen of the Norse world, living beneath the ground in Svartalfheim. They are known for their incredible skill in metalwork and crafting magical items. The dwarves are responsible for creating some of the most famous artifacts in Norse mythology, including Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, and the golden hair of Sif. Dwarves are often portrayed as reclusive and gruff, but they are also wise and possess a deep knowledge of the secrets of the earth. Their tales often involve them outsmarting the gods and other beings, showing that intelligence and skill can be as powerful as strength and magic. The elves, mystical keepers of nature. Elves are divided into 2 main groups: the light elves of Alfheim and the dark elves, who are sometimes associated with the dwarves. The light elves are beautiful and ethereal, often associated with the forces of nature and the light of the sun. They are guardians of beauty and art, inspiring humans to create and protect the natural world. The dark elves, on the other hand, are more mysterious. They are said to dwell in the shadows, possessing their own kind of magic. While less is known about them, they are an integral part of the Norse cosmos, representing the hidden aspects of the world. The roles these beings play in Norse myths. The Jotnar, dwarves, and elves play crucial roles in Norse myths. They interact with the gods, shaping the destiny of the world. The Jotnar challenge the gods, causing them to strive and fight for the order of the cosmos. The dwarves create the tools that the gods and heroes need to accomplish their tasks. The elves remind everyone of the beauty and magic that exists in the world. These beings are not just characters in stories. They represent different parts of the human experience. The Jotnar embody our fears and the chaotic parts of life that we cannot control. The dwarves represent our creativity and the skills we use to shape our world. The elves remind us of the beauty and inspiration that make life worth living. Conclusion. In this chapter, we have explored the legendary creatures and beings of Norse mythology, the Jotnar, dwarves, and elves. We have seen how they contribute to the myths and what they represent in the broader context of the Norse worldview. As we continue our audiobook journey, we carry with us the tales of these remarkable beings, their strengths, their wisdom, and their magic. They are an essential part of the Norse myths, adding depth and complexity to the stories that have been passed down through the ages. Join us as we delve deeper into the legends and uncover the roles these beings play in the grand narrative of Norse mythology. Welcome to the world of the Norse, where every creature, great or small, has a story to tell and a lesson to teach. Chapter 5. Runic Wisdom. In the ancient world of the Norse, there existed a system of symbols that held much more than mere letters. These were the runes, each one more than just a sound or a mark, but a repository of power and meaning. Runes were the alphabet of the Norse, known as the Futhark, but they were also used for divination, magic, and inscriptions. They were the bearers of runic wisdom. The significance of runes in Norse culture. Runes were not merely written characters. They were believed to be gifts from Odin, the chief of the gods. According to legend, Odin hung himself from Yggdrasil, the world tree, and pierced his side with his spear. He did this in a quest for wisdom, and after 9 nights, he was rewarded with the knowledge of runes. This story tells us how important runes were to the Norse. They were divine secrets, keys to the mysteries of the universe. In Norse culture, runes were more than a way to write. They were a way to understand the world and influence it. Each rune had its own name, its own story, and its own power. People believe that by using runes, they could predict the future, protect themselves in battle, or even curse their enemies. How runes were used for divination and inscriptions. Runes were used for divination, a practice called rune casting. People would carve runes onto small pieces of wood or stone, then cast them onto a cloth or the ground. They would interpret the way the runes felt, the patterns they made, and the runes that faced up. This was a way to seek guidance from the gods, to ask questions about the future, or to find solutions to problems. Runes were also used to make inscriptions on weapons, jewelry, and stones. These inscriptions could be simple messages, declarations of love, or commemorations of the dead, but they could also be magical, meant to imbue the object with certain qualities. A sword might be inscribed with runes for victory, a bracelet with runes for protection, or a memorial stone with runes to honor the deceased's journey to the afterlife. Conclusion. In this chapter, we have explored the profound significance of runes in Norse culture and the various ways they were used. Runes were not just letters. They were symbols of power and wisdom, deeply embedded in the spiritual life of the Norse people. As we continue our audiobook journey, we carry with us the knowledge of these ancient symbols. We learn that words have power, that stories can shape reality, and that wisdom can be found in the simplest of marks. Join us as we delve deeper into the mysteries of Norse paganism and mythology, where every rune tells a story and every inscription holds a secret. Welcome to the world of the Norse, where the wisdom of the rune still whispers to those who know how to listen. Chapter 6. Ceremonies and traditions of the Norsemen. In the world of the Norse, life was woven with rituals and customs that connected the people to their gods, their ancestors, and the forces of nature. These ceremonies and traditions were not just for special occasions. They were part of the daily rhythm of life, giving meaning and structure to the Norsemen's existence. Everyday spiritual customs. Each day, the Norsemen engage in simple acts of devotion that kept them close to the divine. They made offerings to the gods, asking for protection, strength, and guidance. These offerings could be as grand as a feast or as humble as a loaf of bread. They were left at altars, sacred groves, or even the hearth within the home. The Norse also believed in the power of spoken words. They would speak blessings over their children, their crops, and their ships. They would toast the gods with mead, a honey-based alcoholic drink, and ask for their favor. Even the act of toasting itself was a ritual, a way to honor the gods and the bonds between friends and family. Ceremonies of the Norse warriors. The warriors had their own rituals, especially before going into battle. They would invoke the gods, particularly Odin and Thor, for courage and victory. They might carve runes onto their weapons or recite spells to make them strong. The night before a battle, they would gather in a warband feast where they would eat, drink, and boast of the deeds they would perform the next day. When a warrior died, his comrades would give him a proper send-off to ensure his journey to the afterlife. This could involve a ship burial, where the deceased was placed on a boat with his weapons, treasures, and sometimes even his horses or dogs. The boat would be set on fire and sent out to sea, a dramatic farewell fitting for a brave fighter. Shamanistic practices and cider. Shamanistic practices were also a significant part of Norse religious life. The Norse shamans, known as seers or Volva, were usually women who had special connections to the spiritual world. They could enter trances, communicate with spirits, and travel to other realms in their visions. They were respected and sometimes feared for their knowledge and power. Cider was a type of magic associated with prophecy and altering fate. It was considered a high art and was often performed by women, including the goddess Freya herself. Cider rituals involve chanting, singing, and sometimes the use of a special staff. The Volva would sit on a high seat, the Sidejalar, and enter a trance to see into the future or to call upon the spirits for help. Conclusion. In this chapter, we have taken a deep dive into the ceremonies and traditions of the Norsemen. We have seen how their spiritual customs were woven into the fabric of their daily lives. From the simplest blessing to the grandest feast, we have witnessed the rituals of the warriors and the mystical practices of the shamans. As we continue our audiobook journey, we carry with us the knowledge of these ancient traditions. We learn that the Norsemen's lives were rich with meaning and connection, bound together by rituals that honored the gods, the earth, and the community. Join us as we delve deeper into the world of Norse paganism and mythology, where every ceremony tells a story and every tradition holds a lesson for us today. Welcome to the world of the Norse, where the echoes of ancient chants and the warmth of the hearth still invite us to explore the depths of the human spirit. Chapter 7. The Epic Narratives and Lore. In the realm of Norse mythology, there exist two monumental works that serve as the cornerstone of Norse literature and belief. These are the Poetic Edda and the Prose Edda, ancient texts that have preserved the epic tales and lore of the Norse people. They are not just books. They are the gateways to the ancient world, holding within their pages the stories of gods, heroes, and the very fabric of the cosmos. The Poetic Edda, songs of the ancient times. The Poetic Edda is a collection of Old Norse poems that date back to the Viking Age. It is a treasure trove of mythological and heroic poems that tell the tales of the gods and the legendary heroes of the Norse. These poems were passed down orally for generations before they were finally written down in the 13th century. The Poetic Edda begins with the Völuspá, the prophecy of the seers, which tells the story of the creation of the world, the fates of the gods, and the coming of Ragnarok, the end of the world. Other poems in the Edda include tales of Thor's mighty deeds, the tragic story of Sigurd the Dragon Slayer, and the wisdom of Odin. The language of the Poetic Edda is rich and complex, full of metaphors and cunnings, which are poetic phrases used to describe things in a roundabout way. For example, the sea might be called the Whale Road, and gold might be referred to as the fire of the hand. These poems are like puzzles with layers of meaning waiting to be uncovered. The Prose Edda, a guide to the myths. The Prose Edda, written by the Icelandic scholar Snorri Sturluson, is a manual of Norse mythology and poetics. It was written in the 13th century as a guidebook for poets and readers to understand the references and allusions in Norse poetry. The Prose Edda is divided into several parts, including the Gylfaginning, which tells the story of the creation of the world, and the tales of the gods in a narrative form. It also includes the Skaldskaparmal, a section on poetic language and the art of skaldic poetry, and the Hadatal, a demonstration of different types of verse. The Prose Edda is more straightforward than the Poetic Edda, but it is no less rich in detail. It provides context and explanation for the stories and characters found in the Poetic Edda and other Norse tales. It is an essential companion for anyone seeking to delve deeper into the world of Norse mythology. The epic tales found in the Eddas played a critical role in the preservation of Norse mythos. They were the keepers of the culture, the memory of the people, and the link to their past. In a time when few could read or write, these stories were the way the Norse kept their history alive. The tales of the Eddas are more than just entertainment. They are a reflection of the Norse worldview, their values, and their understanding of life. They speak of fate and destiny, of honor and courage, and of the relationship between humans and the divine. Conclusion. In this chapter, we have explored the epic narratives and lore of the Norse people as preserved in the Poetic and Prose Eddas. These texts are a testament to the rich literary tradition of the Norse and their profound connection to their myths and gods. As we continue our audiobook journey, we carry with us the stories of the Eddas, the wisdom they contain, and the lessons they teach. They are a bridge to the past, a window into the minds and hearts of the Norse people. Join us as we delve deeper into the world of Norse paganism and mythology, where every poem is a treasure and every tale is a glimpse into the soul of the ancient North. Welcome to the world of the Norse, where the echoes of the past still resonate with the power of the epic narratives and lore. Chapter 8: Norse Mythology's Enduring Influence. As we reach the final chapter of our journey through Norse paganism and mythology, we turn our gaze to the present and see how the ancient tales of the Norse continue to echo through time. Norse mythology has left an indelible imprint on contemporary culture and literature, its themes and characters resonating with new generations and inspiring a resurgence of interest in these old beliefs. Norse mythology in contemporary culture. Norse mythology has woven its threads into the fabric of modern culture in many ways, from literature to movies, from music to video games. The tales of Odin, Thor, Loki, and the other gods and creatures have found new life. In literature, authors have drawn upon the rich well of Norse myth for inspiration. J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings is heavily influenced by Norse legends with its dwarves, elves, and epic battles. More recently, Neil Gaiman's Norse mythology retells the ancient stories for a modern audience, bringing the gods and their adventures to life once again. Movies and television have also embraced Norse mythology. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has introduced characters like Thor and Loki to a global audience, blending comic book heroics with ancient myths. The TV series Vikings delves into the lives and beliefs of the Norse people, portraying their gods and rituals with dramatic flair. Music, especially in the genres of metal and folk, often draws upon Norse themes. Bands like Amon Amarth and Wardruna use the imagery and stories of Norse mythology in their lyrics and performances, creating soundscapes that evoke the ancient North. Video games like God of War and Assassin's Creed Valhalla allow players to step into the world of the Norse, exploring the realms and interacting with the gods and creatures of myth. The resurgence of fascination with Norse pagan traditions. In recent years, there has been a growing interest in Norse pagan traditions. This resurgence is part of a broader movement that seeks to reconnect with ancient beliefs and practices. People are drawn to the old ways for various reasons. Some find spiritual meaning in the rituals and gods of the Norse, while others appreciate the connection to nature and the past. Groups and individuals are reviving the practices of Norse paganism, celebrating the old festivals like Yule and Midsummer, and honoring the gods in ceremonies that draw from historical sources and personal interpretation. This modern version of Norse paganism, often called heathenry, is a vibrant and growing community. The values of Norse mythology: courage, honor, hospitality, and respect for the natural world still resonate today. They offer a framework for living that is both ancient and relevant, a way to navigate the complexities of modern life while staying rooted in the wisdom of the past. Conclusion: Norse mythology has traveled from the oral traditions of the Viking Age to the digital pages of the 21st century, proving that these stories are timeless. They have adapted and evolved, finding new expressions and new audiences, but their core remains the same, a testament to the human spirit and the power of myth. Epilogue: the timeless charm of Norse mythology. As we draw the curtains on our exploration of Norse paganism and mythology, we pause to reflect on the journey we've undertaken. We've traversed through the mist of time to a world that, though long past, still whispers its wisdom to us today. Norse mythology, with its gods and giants, its valiant heroes and mystical creatures, continues to cast a spell over our modern imagination. The timeless charm. The charm of Norse mythology lies in its ability to transcend the ages. Its stories are not confined to the era of the Vikings. They are tales of human experience, of struggles and triumphs, of life and death. The gods, with their mighty deeds and all too human flaws, remind us of our own strengths and weaknesses. The sagas, with their epic scope and poetic beauty, inspire us to look beyond the mundane and reach for the extraordinary. The myths speak to us of a time when the world was alive with magic, where every tree, every stone, and every river had a spirit. They invite us to see the world with a sense of wonder, to acknowledge the mystery that lies just beneath the surface of the everyday. Reflective musings. As we ponder the relevance of these ancient doctrines in our contemporary society, we find that they still have much to teach us. The Norse emphasis on courage in the face of adversity, on hospitality, and the bonds of kinship, on respect for the natural world, these are values that remain as important today as they were 1,000 years ago. The concept of word or fate, which was central to Norse belief, encourages us to consider our own place in the web of life. It reminds us that our actions have consequences, that we are part of a larger story, and that we have the power to shape our destiny, even as we are shaped by it. The resurgence of interest in Norse paganism, the modern-day heathenry, is a testament to the enduring appeal of these old beliefs. It speaks to a desire to reconnect with our ancestors, to find meaning in tradition, and to live in harmony with the world around us. Conclusion. Norse mythology, with its rich tapestry of tales and characters, has not faded into obscurity. Instead, it has found new life in our books, our art, our media, and our hearts. It continues to inspire, to challenge, and to enchant. As we close this audiobook, we carry with us the stories of Odin's wisdom, Thor's strength, Freyja's beauty, and Loki's cunning. We remember the tales of Yggdrasil, the World Tree, and the 9 realms. We recall the runes, the sagas, and the rituals that have woven their way into the fabric of our being. May the tales of Norse mythology continue to guide and inspire you, as they have countless others through the ages. May you find in them a source of strength and a beacon of light in the dark, and may you walk through life with the same courage and honor as the heroes of old. Farewell, dear listener, and may the gods of the North watch over you on your path. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the timeless charm of Norse mythology.